Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Boulevard.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Here Comes the Lame, a wrestling podcast. I'm your host, PK with the Boulevard Bullies, and filling in for our flagship host of the flagship show, CCW Hall of Famer. I used the word prolific in the Instagram post. My wrestling father, CCW Hall of Famer, prolific ring announcer, ladies and gentlemen, Larry Legend.
Thank you for having me here to fill in on the flagship show. I almost feel a little underdressed. Should I go get one of my blazers?
Father and son show. Do you want to get a blazer? I was trying to buy half glasses. Like
the Ben Franklin.
Yeah, I was trying to buy some Ben Franklins, and then this week I was going to do all the notes on paper. And then I was like, yeah, I'm not writing all this. I'm
like a scribe.
Yeah, all the motivation left my body. I was like, no, I'm just doing it normal. But no, I mean, I can't believe you're wearing a beanie, because I too have a domicile that has diagonal walls as a part of the room. And what's on the other side of that wall, in case, ladies and gentlemen, you haven't experienced it, it's the sun. It's the Earth's sun is on the other side of that wall, beaming down. So, like, imagine your room has one of these Paulie Walnuts reflector things. Mm-hmm. And, man, it gets fucking hot.
Also, what you don't know about this particular domicile is it was built in, 1795. So, ain't no air conditioning, bro. It's just windows, box fans, the Dyson shit, and just sweating to the oldies. I wanted to wear my beanie because it's a different show. I wanted to just give a different look. You know how I am if I do Cage of Death or, the death match circus. I want to give a night look, a day look, a this look, a that look. So I figured, this old Blipster, old Brooklyn lair. This is straight up Brooklyn Industries Park Slope lair.
Yeah, this is like if we were just out to a nice meal.
Yeah, it's 2005 when I was a true New Yorker, having more sex than looking back, than I ever have in my life. Those were some carefree days.
2005. I probably started flourishing 5 years after that. Maybe no, you know what? Yeah, maybe the 2010 to 2015, 14 window was.
Mm-hmm. No, it sounded like I was in a rhythm in those years, but in 2005, I was like a New Yorker doing the nightlife thing, doing the
You were going to the meatpacking district.
Exactly.
I know. I got my finger on the pulse. I just choose to stay home in my sweat box. So, Larry, let me bring you up to speed on the show, because I know on Tuesday it's a much different vibe. Here on the flagship show, this is very, very philosophical, very, very hypothetical. And the reason is because I didn't actually watch the stuff. I'm just philosophizing, hypothesizing, imagining what could have happened. So when we talk about big brain,
I watch a lot of it. It's hard. It's hard because, we have lives, and me, for example, I was just at Best of the Best. There is such thing as too much, so it's kind of hard to catch all the programming and get it all. But I get a lot. I actually realized how much of it I get through proxy, through the things I like to listen to while I shower or commute, or, I try to tune in to the programs while they're on, but a lot of times I have a lot of interference because I steal, so it's always
a lot of kind of reloading, rebuffering.
Yes, get rid of the pop-ups, all of that. And it always seems like it happens during the real good parts too. All the crappy stuff, it's like, do enjoy. And then right when Christian's walking down to the ring, and I'm like, oh, it's like
404 not found. Yeah, the trick with those sites is that you got to click one more time. You got to click the extra time, the time that you're going to give up. Just click that blank space one more time. Boom, starts working.
It's true. A lot of the time it does. I've found one thing that I can do is minimize into like a little tiny box up in the corner of my screen, and then when I do that, that's when the fast forwards appear on it, and I can like just start fast forwarding it, and then it'll catch up on the little box, and then I can full screen it again, and it'll be back playing.
The things we do. The things we do. Man, I wish we could just have a cable box that was hacked. You know, remember those sweet, sweet
Like
days?
back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I also
Black
had
box.
I had my uncle growing up had direct TV, like satellite, but when it was like, you know, more rare to have, but he had the black box satellite. So it was just like a bevy of, you know, the Spice Network, wrestling all the time, any movie, all the channels. Incredible.
I remember my aunt and uncle got the satellite, and I saw the only benefit was like you could then watch like what was the West Coast time of your show. So like if you missed your show, you could watch it at night
Wow, they could
because it
travel
would
through
be just
time.
you know what I mean? Like the soap operas that come on during the day while my mom's at work, while she's at home cooking dinner, she could put on the West Coast feed and watch those same soap operas. And I was like, yeah, I guess okay.
Incredible.
You
Hey,
know, look at where we've come.
look at where we have come. You know, part of this flagship show as well is Joe and I like to talk about the video games we're playing and the sports we're watching. Now, even though you are dressed like a Baltimore Oriole, I will completely forego the sports section of this.
We can talk. I listen. I pick up things. We can talk about Zay Flowers. You know, Zay was at the training at Owens Mills training. He was running around in his little shoes. I saw that. You know what I'm talking about? Those little like sports shoes. He's like doing his stretches and
His little shoes.
you know what I'm talking about.
I
All
know,
these
but when
guys
you
are
said
like
that, I just imagined like Beavis and Butthead's feet with just the black little shoes and their socks. It's just very funny to me. I don't know why that.
yeah, I
Little
mean
shoes.
they kind of were like that. They're kind of like some sort of athletic little tiny things, and I saw that, and I don't know anything else. Maybe the Celtics are number one. They're doing good.
Celtics are doing good. Knicks are out. Rangers.
Oh, I was there. I was there, and I saw the Indiana Pacers destroy the Knicks last Sunday. I was hanging out with a bunch of sports people.
Oh, well, there you go. You
Yeah.
had that little sports night.
Not only was it such a sports night that I was at, I actually paused to go to a dispensary because this place that I was far from where I live. And sometimes when I go a little far up the beaten path of where I live, I like to like just look at weed maps or Leafly and see like, are there any dispensos around? And like, you know, get my first timers deal or see if they got anything varieties that I don't see near where I live. And I went to one, and while I was there in the lobby, the game that we were watching in the apartment was on, and all the staff was like, you know, like, no, like I was like, oh, this game's over. And they were like, no, like everyone was very much engaged and kind of flabbergasted that the Pacers were just handling them.
Just handling it. And the Rangers, the New York Hockey Rangers last night got their doors blown off. Got absolutely overpowered and demolished. Hockey's awesome. Hockey is awesome. And that's what I've learned. Last summer I learned that soccer was awesome. Or like last year, I during the last World Cup, I was like, wow, soccer is awesome. And this year I'm learning once and for all that hockey is awesome. So, you know.
Yeah, sports are awesome.
You know what it is,
You know,
Larry?
anything that brings us all together to watch collectively a thing and make sounds together based off of what we're watching, that's like good. I like that type of thing.
You know, I love movies and TV too, you know, and I love video games. You know what it is, though? It's just impressive to watch someone who has dedicated their life to something perform that thing at an elite level. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a delight to watch, whether it's an actor or whether it's a wrestler, which, by the way, this show is about. It's about wrestling. Or whether it's a sports athlete, you know. It's just impressive to watch them fucking handle their business.
Yeah, you can vicariously believe in the abilities of humans, despite all the muckety muck that is behind, the vessel, and other representations you can't help but notice, like a junkie, falling asleep on the street, or any sort of images of what's going on all around the world. You also can take, a nice heaping dose of like the grandeur of the human spirit and what we can achieve and accomplish as these great beings. So there is balance.
Would you tune into a crackhead Olympics or a crackhead Super Bowl, crackhead King of the Ring, where you have 8 East Coast, 8 West Coasts, and it's like, just like you said, you could talk about somebody who's performing at an elite level, the elite level crackheads. No, swing and a miss.
The thing about it is, Pat, is that I know that those people, they die for that crack. A lot of people have died.
It's true.
So if you could, in some sort of twisted Paul Heyman-esque way, develop a set of like games that were catered to the crackhead way of life.
Yeah.
And the boon is not a gold medal, but like a lifetime supply of crack. Dude, I bet you would have some really fucking going hard in the paint crackheads that were like, and again, this isn't like, I want you to play basketball, crackhead. This is like, you have to think of like the things that crackheads are good at. And,
how many cans can you collect and trade in?
Yes.
How many cans?
Yes.
And of course, there's the classic panhandling. You could do the classic panhandling, whoever has the most money.
Yep.
Yeah, the Crackhead Olympics, the goal is to, like, get off crack and, like, make money.
Yeah. But you also get a little crack if you win.
Yeah, but then you get a little crack.
These motherfuckers to work now, so you get a little crack.
Yeah, here's the crack.
Yeah.
Go right back. Go right. You prove that you could be, like, a functioning member of society. Here's some crack, good right back to where you were at. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like a Dave Chappelle skit, honestly. The crack.
Yeah, I mean, I miss Chappelle's show. I think we all do.
The Bumlympics.
Mm-hmm. The Heronathlon.
Do you have any other? I like that story of you watching sports though. That was a fun little Larry story. What else happened this week? What's the last movie you watched?
Huh?
I'm sorry, I'm completely interrupting you. What's the last movie you watched? What's the last film you watched for the first time from beginning to end?
Audition.
What's that? What is that about?
It's the 1999 movie where the guy's like, he wants to get a wife, so he pretends to set up like, oh, we're filming a movie. We need to see all of these girls and audition them, but nefariously he's picking which one he's going to start dating with promises of being in the movie. And the one that he ends up selecting happens to have ulterior motives of her own. But it's very well done. It's called Audition. I actually saw it in the movies. But the other night I started, is there like a new Deadpool where Logan's in it, where Wolverine's in it?
Yeah, it's like, I don't think it's out yet. I think it's coming out.
Oh, bro, I was like watching it last night. My friend knows how to get everything. Like, seriously.
I don't believe you.
Well, here's the thing. Us Sagittariuses and our willfulness, right? So it's kind of like I was sort of low-key like hating on it and like I don't want to watch this, kind of like.
Okay.
Like I'm tired. There's
you're being a little cranky.
Yeah, I was kind of doing the bratty kid kicking my feet, like, you got in your way all this time, and we're watching some shit that I don't even know, but no, it was on. And I just fucking fell asleep on it.
Huh.
But Audition, I highly recommend it. It came out in 1999. It does have subtitles. It's like a Korean film, Korean horror. Yeah, it's very well done.
Nice. I'll have to check it out. Urka says
I have a theater. Here in Baltimore that has a revival series where every Thursday.
Oh, like the Nighthawk Cinema.
Yes. So they post the poster of what the lineup is for a given month, and if there's ever anything someone says, "Oh, you got to go see Fear and Loathing," or one of these classics that I would never go see when I was 10 or 13.
Right. If you have seen them, it hasn't been in the movies. You haven't had the cinema experience with
which is the way the director intended, not this fucking shit we've squared it down to fit on our TV. When they were shooting it, they were shooting it for big ass long shit.
Yeah. So, and the sound too. You can't beat the sound.
Oh, dude, bro. I know that movie Rosemary's Baby very well, but I was able to hear things, and there were things happening from certain speakers that I guess they said, oh, and make sure that these sounds are only on the back speakers of the house during this part of the movie. That totally made it whoa, this is a freaky experience. So if you ever get a chance to go see old films in the actual theater, do it.
That's a really good point. Now you just in one fell swoop made me want to see Hereditary in a theater. Stuff like that. Yeah,
dude.
Horror movies and I guess action movies too, but that's not really my bag. But you can really feel the explosions in your chest, brother. Hey, Urka, thank you for watching. Shout out Logan Stein. Shout out Bren. Thank you for hanging out. Father and son show. Gotta love it. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's almost Father's Day.
What did you get at the dispensary? Did you get anything when you were on your journey?
So
Urka wants to know.
So actually, yes, I got the exact same variety that I had gotten from my kind of home dispensary, my home team shop while I was out with the sports guys. I got the same one because it turns out even if you're out in West Bumblefuck, Maryland, it's still the same. Dude, it's so bureaucracy. You know what I mean? The same people that are supplying Maryland are supplying Maryland, so you ain't getting nothing special from the one that's all the way out in the sticks versus the one that's downtown Baltimore City. So I ended up just getting the exact same thing I'd gotten at my last place because it was high testing percent and terps. It was called space alien cake.
Nice. There's one near me called Garlic Breath, and I just know that name because I think to myself, that might be the least appetizing name for anything that you would put near your mouth ever. You know what I'm saying? Why would I want to smoke a weed called Garlic Breath?
Well, but you know what they're talking about is the aroma. They're letting you know you got some pretty stankin' bud.
I know.
If you got garlic breath, you smell it.
Yeah. The weed is so good, you got bad breath. I mean, that is kind of awesome, but also gross. I have these, what did I get? These Stizzy little mini blunts. Straw Nana. And I'll tell you, I took one puff of this, and it tasted straight up like strawberries. I gotta say.
Yeah, I find a lot of the 5-packs of mini J's that you come across now. They really pack a punch with just the taste, the actual first couple pulls of it. If it says strawberry or grape or blueberry or something, you're tasting that.
Yeah, they
and
brush the tip.
I wonder sometimes if that's the flour or they dip the paper in some now or later's type shit. I wonder sometimes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's think about cheese. the art of making cheese.
Mhm.
It's like there was a time, I don't know when, once again, philosophical show.
Yeah, I liked it.
Making
I
this
liked it.
cheese, making this wine, making these beers, butchering a cow, or like growing a great fucking ear of corn was like a fucking art form, right? And now you have like craft American slices of cheese in the cellophane. You know, you got like fucking nuclear. Steroid bananas, or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like they take like the best, compress it, package it, and ship it. So it's like, yeah, weed is kind of like that. It's like, you used to, all the wraps and all the vessels used to taste the same. And it used to be about like, I call this, I grew this, where I got this from a guy that got this from a guy. We traveled to freaking Tijuana, and it's like, and so when you put this in your your Dutch wrap,
White Owl,
or whatever the fuck, it's
yeah.
gonna be a new experience.
Philly.
Yeah, this is a delicious fucking cheese here. I call it delicious cheese. And now it's like, yeah, I could see, weed is like that now, where it's like, hey, what do you want? We got all the flavors and none of them are natural.
Hey, kind of an analogy for AEW, huh?
I love where you're at here. And you know what?
I'm
You're
just
right
saying,
on time, Larry.
like, as you're saying that, I'm thinking like, like, it's like we have so much now that it's like an assembly line of shit.
Yeah, no, that's so true. And almost every single dude or lady on AEW would be somebody who was on, if they were on an indie show, I'd be like, yes, this is gonna be. They're fighting this guy. This is gonna be awesome. And almost every single one of them, I cannot stand seeing on my television. And it's like, and including like Swerve. I mean, Swerve doesn't make me mad. What they do with him makes me mad. But like, think about Nick Wayne in GCW. Now he's getting like spanked by a belt by Swerve in an empty arena. It's like,
I know. I mean, what's Blake Christian doing? What is Blake on? Is he even on there anymore, or is he ROH? I don't even know what Blake Christian's doing.
I haven't
anymore.
seen him. I don't really keep up with ROH, but I haven't seen him around. I
don't know how to keep up with ROH, honestly, because it's not on TV. It's just stream like Impact. Impact and ROH are just streamables.
I really don't watch MLW at all either, and maybe I have a feeling he might be on there, like or he's on TNA. Is that
MLW is another streamable, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are in the streaming game now, where if you ain't got internet or streaming capabilities or whatever the cost is to see them, then I guess you got to go to their YouTube. But I don't ever even see those things in the algorithm of my YouTube. I never see MLW
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
Yeah, so.
Blake is in the Best of the Super Juniors, which is currently going on. Which is
okay.
Hey, good for him.
Nice.
He's awesome.
And he's the GCW champion.
Current reigning defending. Yeah, and yeah, but it's like, it's the same thing. It's like AEW, MLW, Ring of Honor, TNA. It's like
so much.
All these people who I would go see live and are all in these shows on these shows that I don't care about. I don't know. It's like it's weird. Like I guess if I was a good fan, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was like, it's almost like we got to have a resistance. We got to have a resistance of guys that don't want to go over there, that don't ever want to go inside for the big money, that only want to do like the pro wrestling revolvers and the CZWs, just to kind of be like that.
Exist. Like you can't even see like a dope over the top like Ring of Honor show or it's like a PWG or like a Bola. All these things are all just like have the guys who are on TV on them now, kind of,
Right, like, right. All that good stuff, the Beyond and stuff, like when Beyond was dope as I don't know what. All those guys are on TV now, so that kind of sucks.
Let's get to headlines, because I have something in the headlines that connects to this. Wrestling headlines, by the way, and by the way, right on time. First half hour, just chatting. Second half hour, headlines. Third half hour, King of the Ring talk. Fourth half hour, Double or Nothing talk. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Sheets and sheets of data. Philosophy.
Data. You're a data. I'm a data because of Star Trek. I think I'm a data because of Star Trek.
But in Star Trek, he was called Data.
Was he?
Yeah, dude. That's why I'm a Data, because that's the only way I know how to say it. He was Data. Dude, if you called him Dada, Captain Picard shoot you right in the head, dude. They'll throw you out the airlock. Worf will just throw you out the airlock, dude. They don't fuck with you. Fucking
Yeah,
with
you're right. He was Data. I guess that's the Mandela effect. Totes Mandela.
You know who's on the indies? Who's dope? Who hasn't been ruined by television or internet streaming or production yet? In my opinion, from my vision, a dear friend of yours, or I don't know, because it's a different incarnation, it's a different mutation. Blackheart, Leo Rush, is walking around acting like Papa Shango's nephew. He's got some black ooze. He's got some great, what is he like? He's like a free-form interpretive modern dancer, almost, with his...
But do you remember that this started all the way back with Joey Janela and him?
Yes.
The inklings of this character of like having the black heart on his chest, he started doing this all the way back in the day with Joey. It was like, this is the only way that I can beat Joey.
He has to go to a place.
To unleash a darker side of myself.
I have to have an Undertaker entrance.
And when he fought Sammy at that one Cage of Death, it was like his fiance at the time walked him out in like a black gown, and the music was like all like
very dramatic. Yes.
Right. And that's how Tommy Dreamer was like, dude, I want you to come to my show and do that same thing like you did at Cage of Death. Come out and be like all slow and stuff. And that's really his deal, is that entrance, dude. You can do a lot. And now, the vomiting of the black viscous is awesome. You know, it's an awesome thing for him to morph. And I was actually just looking at old pictures of him when he first started to do the black heart type of like darkening up his deal to where it's evolved to. He stuck with it, and I love it. And it's an awesome moment in his matches when he starts vomiting, and kind of like an homage to Bray, you know, in a lot of ways, you know, with sort of this like shape-shifting monstrosity of a dark thing that you have to fight. Like,
yeah, he's definitely the most supernatural. He's probably one of the most supernatural guys out there right now, because he did this. Oh man, I forget. He had like a shrunken head, and he like handed it to the referee, and the referee like froze in time. They did a whole shtick like this. Did you see this?
Well, you know, I don't get to see it all because I'm a busy boy, but
yeah,
I know
idols.
Yeah. He's awesome, dude. Yeah. He's awesome.
He is
like,
awesome.
He's awesome. So I've always had my eye on him and the Velveteen Dream, because he and the Velveteen Dream started at the same time, and I think that they both are very, very special and very, very good for two very, very different reasons. And Patrick. I wish that, yes, Patrick Clark. They both started at the exact same time, and I was like, these two are great. They just need the right whatever to whatever. And they did, but you know how things go. But yeah, Leo. I love the vomiting of the black shit.
Yeah, very, very interesting.
I love when he screams. I love when he starts to like go in hysterics and like laugh and, you know, kick his feet and stuff.
It's awesome. He's like fully committed to it. Yeah, he's a vessel for his art, dude.
Hey, who knows what's going on? Maybe he's really letting some demons inside of him.
Hey, you know, you fuck around like that for a while, pretend long enough, you never know what could happen. Hey,
maybe he's gaining tutelage from Papa Shango, the Godfather, because if y'all don't know, Charles Wright, he knows that he knows all that Papa Shango shit. He knows it. Oh yeah.
Speaking of possessed demonic people coming from another dimension to rain hell upon our land, WWE The Bump the online show that they have. That's like their like solution to the Sam Roberts podcast, and like it's like their hey
They're
fellow
Chris Van
kids.
Vliet.
Yeah, it's like their hello fellow kids show. You know, Sam Roberts himself, the demonic Blackheart Sam Roberts, couldn't save it, and the bump is going on hiatus. I guess they're gonna retool it for the TKO merger, the new era, and so the bump is no more. Sam Roberts couldn't save it. Peter Rosenberg might have been able to, but
yeah, Sam loves the Boulevard. Don't we have that audio? We have him saying, "I love
the Boulevard
Bullies."
Bullies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves us.
That's a day
I'm
that he
sorry.
regrets in his life.
I'm sorry. I think he's a dad now, dude. I think Sam Roberts is a dad. Congratulations to being a dad, Dad.
Sam, yeah,
Yeah.
he looks so much better with his shaved head too. I wonder if
I like that. I like that kind of Larry from the Three Stooges.
That's kind of what I got going on. I wonder if I would look better with a shaved head like Sam Roberts. You know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Whatever works, whatever twerks. Sam's up there. He's up there, so.
The reason I'm thinking about my hair is because we have Brian's wedding coming up, and
yes.
I'm gonna have to have a nice haircut for that. But you know who else got married?
Oh, you don't have to.
You know who else got married this week? Ruby Soho got married to Angelo Parker, the guy with the comb. You know the comb guy?
Yes, he is partners with Jagged Shane Matthews.
Yeah, the guy with the square
AKA
head.
yeah, AKA I don't know what he's called now. Magic something.
Do you have any did you ever have any passings with one Ruby Soho in your life and times?
Dude, there's a match. There's a popular match on Beyond Wrestling's YouTube. Heidi Lovelace of Team Pazuzu with Larry Legend versus Kimberly. And there was one Beyond was just that at one point, y'all. I cannot, and I'm not again trying to shit on them now, but at one point Beyond Wrestling was like a wonderland of like what it was like PWG East Coast is what it was like. And the Bucks came through a couple times, but one time, yeah. Heidi Lovelace was our girl in the Team Pazuzu for about, I'd say, a 4-month period, which meant we got her like 2 shows in a row. And then she took off. But yeah, I managed her. I gave her a personal ring introduction and managed her against Kimberly. And I think I got involved. I think I gave Kim during that match. You know, Kim was on the thing, and I give her a little, you know, I give her a choker a little bit or something like that. Grab her leg, you know. But yeah, I love her, and she always loved me. She did JPW. We did JPW show. Her and Dickinson versus fucking. I think it was Gargano and Candice LeRae. Versus Heidi and Chris Dickinson.
Wow, you see,
Yeah.
you've never told me that story.
Doreen.
But I just knew that somehow that you would definitely cross paths with her. I didn't know to that extent.
Also, I don't think I've ever told this. So a couple times I got to do extra work in WWE, and I was backstage, and she would always, like, if I passed her, she would say to whoever was with her, "Oh, there's my friend." Like every time, like if I came and sat down, she'd be like, "Oh, my friend's back." You know,
That's
like
awesome.
not making a big deal of it or anything like that, but just like, "Oh, Larry, I'm so happy to see him." And there are a couple people that when I would be back there, Mox, you know, that in a certain way, Mox introduced me to Renee, like went out of his way to get me to introduce me to Renee.
That's
This is
awesome.
before they were married. You know, I knew they were dating and stuff, and they were an item, and you know, like little things like that, just like. And I just remember that. So congratulations to them, and she's preggers too. So yeah, me and Heidi go way back. She was awesome. She's my girl.
That's
One of my
amazing.
many girls. Yeah.
Also, just want to shout out Alvin Alvarez. Speaking of our pasts and our prior.
Took a pile driver on the cement.
Yeah, Alvin Alvarez, Absolute Alvin, was the Boulevard Bullies' first ever interview with a wrestler for a promotion, and that promotion was NYWC. And Alvin Alvarez is going to debut at Ring of Honor on Thursday. He's also been on AEW Dark, and I think things like that. But now, he's getting up. So, literally 5 minutes before we went live, I opened up Instagram. I saw that he said Ring of Honor Thursday, and I said, God damn it, that's Alvin Alvarez, my first ever interview. I'm gonna add that to the notes. So shout out Alvin.
Pat, I think one of his appearances on AEW is where he took the pile driver on the floor. And I said to him, dude, that was crazy. I think it was like Brody King.
Maybe I don't know. The only knowledge I know of Alvin Alvarez's matches are just screenshots that he posts saying that he had them.
Pat, I'm pretty sure Alvin and two other Long Island guys, they were at the Nassau Coliseum or someplace out there on the island. The island. And I remember Al's part was to take a drumming, but in particular to take a pile driver on the cement, not on the ring, on the floor. And it was crazy. And I was like, yo, Al just took a pile driver on the floor.
Dark match for the thing, pile driver on the floor. Also, shout out to Tara Zepp, who, got put over by Mick Foley at ICW, and who's like a deathmatch wrestler and a
Now, when you say put over, he didn't lose a match.
No, he held up her hand. He said, "This is what deathmatch wrestling is all about." Is this
okay?
Young lady?
I just want to make sure for all of our people that are watching, it's like, what?
Yeah, he lost a match.
Girl over?
They had a match, and he lost.
I mean, I'm sure he would, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, Mick Foley missed a 450 off the top rope, and she rolled him up in a schoolboy, and he lost. So they were both protected, but he put her over, brother. I saw on her Instagram that she was doing a Ring of Honor. I guess she wrestled Anna Jay at Ring of Honor, and she was backstage at AEW getting some photos. The AEW photo is basically like the Slava photo. You know what I mean? Like every independent, every person,
Yo, Pat.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, would you say that you heard more about Sinclair Ring of Honor than AEW Ring of Honor? Would you say that it is a safe thing to say that when Ring of Honor had its 2012 to 2020, I guess 2012 to 2020, that 8-year run that they were with Sinclair, that you heard about what they were doing and could more easily access it than now?
Well, I don't know if I can speak on that because I was more interested then because it was its own separate thing controlled by different people with different contracts and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
So I think, yeah, like if Ring of Honor existed right now under Sinclair, I wouldn't know, even if I didn't know the guys there, I would know that there are different guys there, so I'd be paying probably more attention, Yeah,
I guess what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, and what you're saying in so many words, ROH was very distinguishable, and it had a very, kind of, prestigious lineage.
Well, and you know what?
It kind of seems like it's being washed away and
it's just AEW light. It's basically AEW dark. Yeah, and you know what, dude? You think about it. Tony Khan talked all this shit that he's gonna buy ROH and blah 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 because he didn't want it to just go into the WWE Network library or whatever. Right? There was some discussion oh, well, he saved it.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. But
in a way, it's if they had just ceased to exist and become a library, it would be more interesting than what it is now, So, but shout out to him because he's employing how many more wrestlers? He gets to employ probably more camera people. Everybody else who loves wrestling has jobs. More people who love wrestling have jobs. Caprice Coleman needs something to do every week. Ian Riccaboni needs something to do every week. So God bless him. God bless him. But if you think about it.
Yeah, but I almost feel like Caprice and Ian would be making more headways, kind of humping the roads on my level and just bopping around instead of I never see them or hear from them really. It's so many voices on that program. I'm just
well, how about this? I'll take it one step further from you, Lau, for you. Imagine this world. Imagine a world where WWE gets to or outbids Tony for the Ring of Honor library, and it just gets fucking, crystallized and put on a shelf somewhere, right? So now Ian Riccaboni's out of a job. Caprice Coleman are out of jobs. They don't have something to do every week. Do you think, honestly, that Excalibur would still be the lead guy if they weren't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they were free agents and they had nothing to do or nowhere to go, if AEW should have hired them.
I guess they would have to create another show. They would just create another show to absorb those guys. There are a number of ROH talent that kind of got the cold shoulder and didn't get invited to like the Tony Khan ROH, so I know Delirious, the former booker of ROH, he's an Impact, I see, Frankie Kazarian, he's back in Impact,
Right. And like Jay Lethal kind of like got bumped. It's like he was too big for ROH, but he's not big enough for AEW, so he's just like nowhere, doing nothing. Who's the best? I guess Roderick Strong is like pretty elevated, but he was out of Ring of Honor for years. But he's who I think of. I think of like Roddy and like, I guess I think of Samoa Joe a little bit when I think about Ring of Honor. I think about Steen and Generico obviously as well.
Kyle O'Reilly is definitely a Ring of Honor name. Kyle O'Reilly. I mean, Cole. American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
See, that's like I wasn't. I think that's like, I don't know why, but at the time he flew like completely under my radar. No, I don't know why. He just wasn't in my algorithm at the time, I guess.
Well, did you know anything about Nigel? Like when Nigel was a big fucking like roided out freak champion?
No, not really. No, I wasn't.
His matches
really
are crazy. They would really hurt each other. I mean, they would really look like they were destroying each other.
Yeah, I went to Terminal 5, formerly Club Exit. Larry, you were there. We hung out on the roof. What show was that?
Is that the one? Is that the one where at the beginning
Japan.
of the show? Is that the one at the beginning of the show? I was like, so guys, how do you like the New York building? And everyone started booing.
Yeah, because Terminal 5 is like the worst venue in New York City.
Yeah, and people paid $60 tickets to stand.
Yeah, there were no seats. There was no seats. Just balcony, standing room.
And like if you got up close to the balcony, that was the best seat. But if you move, someone else could absorb your seat and you would be behind them and have to watch on the TVs.
Oh my God, yes. That was the worst, dude. That was the worst.
Bro, yeah.
Yeah, we went up on the roof.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We smoked a bogue. And you much like John Moxley or Ruby Soho, introduced me to some people nicely, very nicely. I forget who they were.
I used to love working Ring of Honor because I just was making the best of the fact that I wasn't the Bobby Cruz and like just sort of like wheeling and dealing and like, you know what I do. It was a fun time, but it also was like a time where they always were reminding me you can be fired. And when you work for that corporation, they're always like reminding you that you're replaceable and you can get fired. So in a lot of ways, it's like you're like walking on eggshells of anxiety. That's like, is this even worth it? And then when you are fired, you lose all your friends. Nobody's talking to you anymore. And it's not that they're being mean. They're not being mean. It's right in front of you.
Hey, more headlines. Well, fuck them. Fuck them all then, Larry. Hey, more headlines.
I'll see them again, and we'll squeeze each other's buttocks and fucking hee-haw about. Be like, remember that night? I don't care.
Hee-haw about. Did you see that Sexy Red was going to be on NXT?
Yes. I saw that.
Apparently,
and it has something to do with It has something to do with Trick Williams, the new North American champion, correct?
Yeah, but I think that she tweeted. Well, I don't know. There's nothing online like saying what she's gonna do, but apparently she's gonna like be there. She's gonna appear. You know, she said on Twitter, I might give somebody an RKO. So she's like a fan, and apparently that's how they got.
I think that they've been doing Trick Williams, former CZW Academy trainee, dirty. And she's been like, oh, y'all better stop. well, I'm gonna have to come. So HBK, dun, 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 oh my God, said, oh, her name's Sexy Red. Here's an open invitation. Did you see HBK also invited Drake and Kendrick Lamar to NXT? Did you see that as well?
Oh yeah, he couldn't help himself.
Because Kendrick dropped a line about sweet chin music.
Has there ever been two different human beings living supposedly the same lifetime more than Shawn Michaels? You know what I'm saying, dude?
I'm trying to think. Because God, if you look at that man then, and you look at him now, you're like, what?
Who is this? No way. No way. No way, dude. It's not the same guy.
Dude, he partied though, dude. I heard he partied.
He was abducted by aliens, dude.
Dude, he got his entire essence drained like in the Dark Crystal. He's just a Skeksis. He's a Skeksis underneath that shell.
So strange, so odd. Hey, but shout out NXT. Shout out all the things happening.
Yeah, Sexy Red, that's big. I hardly ever tune into NXT. But I'll see what Sexy Red does.
I guess
she makes very adult. Her music is very adult, Pat. Like she's like a porn rapper.
Oh, those are my favorite.
Yeah, bro, like Little Kim, but like now. So like very graphic, very like
right. It's like the death match of Little Kim.
Destroyed me. Like, and I'm like, yeah.
Yo, that's
crazy.
my
So
favorite.
she'll be on NXT with Trick.
Yo, hell yeah. My booty.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
What is
yes,
it,
my booty hole brown.
My booty hole brown.
Yeah, that's pretty much shit.
Is that her song? Is that her?
It might be.
It might be.
Chat. That might be her. Yeah.
I know that Sean knows. So Sean, if you're watching,
Sean definitely knows. My booty hole brown. My
booty hole brown.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like the death metal of like horny rap. It's just like the most over the top. It's like the slutty rapping, the Sexy Red rapping is like the Cannibal Corpse album cover. It's like what's the most vile, you know, like in a different way, but it's like what's the most graphic, sexy, hoey, dommy thing that we could possibly. It's like, yeah, let's make it the most gruesome shit it can possibly be. But like, let's make it the most horny, like hood, awesome shit. Yeah, it's great. I love it.
And that goes hand in glove with WWE in the audience. Okay. Then people know who Sexy Red is. They all know Sexy Red.
Hey, she's
probably on Pig's Butt.
Pig's Blood.
They probably have a cleaned up version of her stuff on Kids Bop.
Oh, right. Yeah, they'll play she'll be for the people. She'll be for the kids on NXT.
Yeah.
Speaking of NXT, former NXT champion Kenta won the CZW Best of the Best, and you as a Hall of Famer were in the building. Care to comment?
You know yes. First of all, shout out DJ Hyde for no other reason than carrying that banner.
And it seems like he accommodates you and honors you when you're there.
Oh, dude, he fucking rolls the red carpet out because, like, I don't make fun of him. You know, I let him know he's getting larger because he is. Every time I see him, but I don't like poke fun at him, and I just kind of talk to him. And if you don't know DJ likes to talk. So if you get him going, you just kind of gotta listen. And he fucking spills all types of tea. Like, he tells me all types of things, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't ask for that, but thanks, oh shit, that happened. So it was good to see him, and he does roll the red carpet out for me. And I said to a lot of the guys in the back, I was like, this being the 20th one of this is significant, and Kenta winning it is significant. So you guys should all be, proud you're on this show.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them got paid, but that's not my business. But I think that they all should have been proud to be able to be like, I was on Best of the Best 20.
Yeah, that DVD will be purchased and shipped to Japan at least one time.
I know the man who'll buy it. I know the vendor out there who buys all the shit that features someone like Kenta.
You're in the annals
or
of history.
Nakamura. Huh?
You're in the annals of history.
Yeah, so I was also CZW in Baltimore. Like, this is also kind of like, last week they did a show in the shadow of Philly City Hall, and then this week, like, wasn't really well attended, not gonna lie. But this week they're doing a show in like downtown Baltimore. That's kind of like, that's not like a rec center. And that's another thing. They did the Murphy Rec Center. Like, CZW, I'm not gonna say they're going strong, but they're going. And that's all that fucking matters, bro. Like, y'all are going, like.
Hey, best of the best 20. That's an achievement. 20 years of anything is an achievement. Speaking of
our young boy, fellow Sag, Brandon Watts, who apparently is running NYWC now. More on that offline.
All right. Well, I didn't know that, and I don't care about that. But they look great. Milk Chocolate, love them. Hey, you said they ran the Murphy Center?
So they ran the Murphy Rec Center.
Well, speaking of Murphy, Buddy Murphy is up to his old antics again.
He's got to let us know.
He's got to let everybody know that he could lay on the beach and put his head on Rhea Ripley's butt.
For real, y'all.
And like, I don't know what his purpose is. I don't know what his purpose is. I honestly don't think that he's working or getting heat, brother. I just think that he is acting like Eddie, like he would with any girlfriend he had. He would just be reminding everybody in the comments and posting selfies on. Let me ask you this. I have never wanted to mix business and pleasure. I have dated people and girlfriends who have been like, why don't you involve me in the Boulevard Bullies? Why don't you mention me? Why don't we do a shtick? Why don't we do a thing? And I've always been like, nah, sorry. Like, I want to keep my business and personal completely separated, like Biggie would say, right? You know what I'm saying? So do you think that it's a bad idea for the young and impressionable? How old is she? 25, 26? Do you think it's a bad idea for Rhea Ripley? Do you think that she should say, hey, listen, I'm building a brand, I'm building a thing, and a huge part of that is me being a single woman? Just like any male actor, female actress, music person. I mean, that is a thing that is said. I love you. I'm committed to you. But a huge part of my thing is like, simping. Please don't post pictures of you laying on my butt.
I think that everything is happening all at once for that young woman. And she is probably handling it the best way that she can with a whole lot of people advising her. But if she's in it for the long haul, it's better that she establishes herself as like someone that is like there for another person that's in the business, a la like Punk AJ, Seth Becky, Charlotte Andrade. Like I want to keep it.
Maybe my way is an old and outdated way of thinking.
I think that they know that there's legitimacy in the next generation superstar. And if they're there to really be wrestlers, not go to Hollywood, and become stars, but to wrestle in the whole wrestling craft, they want to like produce super wrestlers by like breeding.
It's Vince McMahon's final wish for everybody.
I mean, you can't take away third generation. Dynamite Kid's son came out and wrestled Bianca and Montez. Imagine the kid that they'd have.
Yeah.
Samantha Irvine and Ricochet, like.
Cody's like the first gen. Cody's like Arnold in Terminator, but they're like the next generation of babies will be like T-1000.
So I'm saying, and I'm not saying that they're trying to predestine their kids to do it, but like that's the thing. It's like it's going to become more fraternity, sorority, like keep it in the family, the jacket, like
Keep it in the
you know,
family.
yeah,
Yeah, keep
like
the bloodline pure. Keep the wrestling
yes,
bloodline pure.
yes, you just said it.
Yeah. These
Yes.
fucking
So,
and you know what? They talk about the new era, Triple H at the helm, Cody as the champion. It's feeling a little skull and bonesy to me,
I mean,
Larry.
it's very like the royalty, the royal family of like they're from the Hearts, they're the Canadians, the Northwest Territory. Vince took them out. They're the Grahams down there in the South. Their lineage is the Crockett's or the what's the Iron Claw, the Von Erichs. It's America, dude. It's America. Wrestling is America.
Well, Buddy Matthews couldn't draw money with a piece of paper and a green crayon, so I hope that Rhea's genes are in there. Sorry, I stole that.
He's a good looking guy, and he's got a nice build, and I think I'm always entertained by him. I think that the three of them together, Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Malachi make a good trio. I don't really get the girl, besides
Julia
the fact
Hart.
that I
Well,
guess
she's hurt now. She's hurt now, and now Malachi and Edge are feuding, so it's more about like the Edge versus the men, which by the way we will get to, and that does it for headlines. I do quickly just want to say, because our flagship host would have loved this headline. Just want to say that there was a quick Instagram post about C.J. Perry starting a fire in her house. And I guess Liv Morgan was there and helped her like extinguish it. And there's a photo of the two women looking into the extinguished stove with like extinguisher remnants around the kitchen. And Liv is peering into it. And you could, if you zoom into her fingers, you'd see she's got like a backwoods in her fucking fingers, dude. So it's just very good. Good job,
Liv.
Liv.
Was fucking good.
Right. CJ Perry and CJ Perry often will post things where she's obviously extremely drunk on Instagram, and I feel like she should be a member of the Boulevard Bullies, honestly. And Liv Morgan loves to smoke and was definitely was looking. It was a photo of them side by side peering into the stove. That supposedly
And didn't Liv recently just get pulled over or something, or that just resurfaced about that time? She got pulled over with a pen.
Yeah, she got pulled over for having a pen and a little bit of weed, and the body cam footage just came out, which, by the way, Larry, is fucking disturbing. The police are like reading her diary and shit.
What?
Yeah, dude. Oh man, we played it last week. I don't have it pulled up anymore, but I wish I still had it. But the police officer is like reading her diary, and oh man, I love Liv Morgan, but it's just like generic like dreams. It's like successful podcast, own a home in another country, get into Hollywood, become WWE champion. It's like a little girl's
like gold,
dreams.
Gold.
Yeah,
I have one of those.
You know what? Shout out to all the people trying to manifest out there.
I have one of those. I have those.
You know, I'm an active practicing nihilist, but whatever.
Pat, I just got to remind you, or one of the reasons I'm doing it is because we got to remember to write. You've got to as you get older, you forget to read and write like books as much. So like, I just every day when I dedicate myself to writing something down and just like remembering how to write amongst all this other shit that we have to like tap.
That's a good point. I don't think I've written something for myself. I used to write a lot. I haven't written something for myself. I've only written numbers recently. Like at the spot, I'll write a lot of numbers on a sheet of paper by hand, but I don't write like a lot of personal sentences.
I encourage you, or names, like, in both of our businesses, outside of our businesses, we've got to remember regulars. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'll sometimes be like, oh, that's right. You're Rebecca, not Rachel. You've got the blonde ponytail, and I'll write Rebecca, blonde ponytail. And then like, look at my notes.
I just want to say on the record before we get into WWE and AEW, Liv Morgan, I could fix her. I could fix her. She could fix me. Pretty soon we'll be having a wedding not unlike Ruby Soho and Jack Jimmy Johns. Whatever that guy's name is. D'Angelo Parker.
Yo, Pat.
Yo.
Today is the anniversary of Owen Hart's fall from that arena, the Kemper Arena in Kansas City, May 23rd, 1999. Today is the day that happened.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I actually, in my daily Twitter poop session this morning, saw a clip of Jeff Jarrett and Deborah cutting a live promo.
Gosh.
Did you see this?
Oh my god. Dude.
Did you see this today?
It's terrible. I didn't see it, but I know the one you're talking about.
Oh boy, dude. And the tweet was like, I can't believe what they must have been going through after had just witnessing that, and then having to go out there and like right after this interview and wrestle in the same ring. That's fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, and Jeff Jarrett was like, I mean, he was doing his best, but he was visibly like fucked up, and like Deborah was more like trying to like kind of lost, trying to hold it together. Oh, it was a cringe. It was a cringe. Kevin Kelly, I think, was the interviewer on that.
And then Deborah get a we love you, Owen? Didn't she get that like is before they cut? I feel like she did.
Maybe, I think so. Yo, you want to hear a crazy story? I might have told you this. I might have said this on stream, but since you brought it up, I gotta say it. When I was working at Verizon in Forest Hills, Nicole Bass used to come in, and she came the first time she came in. Like all the people who worked there were like, "Oh, Pat, you're a wrestling fan. You know that's a wrestler." And I was like, "Yeah, I know who that is. That's Nicole Bass." But because Bullies was going, I was like, "Oh, I don't want to bother her." Like, whatever. But apparently, she was like a very annoying customer.
I mean, she was Nicole Bass.
She was like a talk your ear off type,
Yeah.
So they're like, you take her. You can ask her wrestling questions. Just don't let us deal with her. She's always asking weird, stupid. So anyway, I struck up. And you know what, Larry? In classic wrestler form, we would like chat for a minute in the store. And she'd be like, "Yo, you got a cigarette?" And I would bum her a cigarette.
Of course, dude. Of course.
And we'd go outside and smoke a cigarette. And then, of course, we'd double up. She'd go, "You got another one? I'm smoking today." You know what I mean? So, like, she probably looked around, and when she had, like, check.
Oh.
Toast.
It's shit going on outside of my room.
No, it's me. It's not you. It's me. Toast.
Oh,
Toast. If we are, I think we're reconnected. I'm seeing the reconnection happen. That was a little odd. Anyway, long story short, Larry, she fucking told me that she was the next match, and they wheeled him by, right? And, like, he was obviously fucking dead. Like, he was, like, blue as fuck and just, like, all fucked up. And she saw, but because she was the next match, she saw them wheel him by. But then they gathered everyone around and said that he was going to the hospital and that, he's still alive and that they're going to see what can be done at the hospital and that Owen said the show should go on. And, like, but she knew the truth. And that she, like, hid under a table and they had to, like, get her from under a table. She told me this whole fucking horrific story. Now, listen. It's Nicole Bass. Who knows how much of that's true. But I'm just saying that that's what she told me firsthand. And, based on...
I believe...
Yeah, I believe it,
also,
too.
I believe also in Mick Foley's book. I think in Mick Foley's book, he recounts that indeed they wheeled Owen by. Now, I know Mick was not the next match. I know that he was not, but he and Owen were like apparently really good friends, travel buddies, because they saved a lot of money.
Right, they were both cheap as fuck.
Yeah, him, Ron Simmons, and Mick Foley used to like to do the low-cost economy car, double bed, one of y'all sleep on the couch and we'll rotate next town. So he would probably be like rubbernecking and trying to see what was happening right there at Gorilla and would be able to confirm and say, I've also heard that he wheeled him by and everyone knew he was gone.
Yeah, but I guess, they wanted the show must go on, I mean, but if you think about it, I mean, I don't know. I've watched plenty of Owen Hart stuff. What would Owen have said? What would dead Owen have said? He'd be like, keep doing the show in my honor. Go out there and keep doing it for the people. You know what I mean? What would the dead guy say? I feel like 9 out of 10 times the dead guy's going to say, keep going, guys. Don't worry about me. I love you. Right? Like, there's only 1 out of 10 dead guys who'd be like, stop the show. Stop. Stop the show. Stop doing it. Stop. Everybody stop for me. Like,
well, I mean, I guess in a sense, inherently in the thing that they're doing, an accident could happen. An accident that is so bad that someone loses their life, regardless of if it's a stunt gone wrong, that's like some crazy thing, or a power bomb gone wrong, like Droz. Like, Droz made it out of that.
He could have easily died. Yeah.
He could have easily died, dude.
And the vibe in the arena is basically the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's basically the same. You think the guy's dead.
So it's almost like, as a participant, I would have to say that as the commentator of XPW, if all of a sudden rain electrocuted my ass and I died right there, but no one knew I died and they wheeled me out in the back, I would be like, yeah, keep going on with the show. Don't stop the show because I died. Like right before at the main event, Vince say to make everybody cry as they're going home, but they'll stop the show.
Not me. I would be the 1 out of 10. I'd be like, stop the show. Everybody make the whole show about me now or go home. I died during the show. So either the next dozen shows are all about me forever or just go home and forget about it. But either way,
Owen was on there. Remember Owen, they had the image of him on that game, that one poorly received game that followed up oh God, what was it? There was Royal Rumble, Raw is War, and then it was Attitude, WWF Attitude for the Nintendo 64. And yeah, it was that style. But when you first launched the game, there was a in loving memory of Owen Hart and his dates, his blue blazer, woo, I'm a winner, at the beginning of that game, and he was included in the game.
God bless. Hey, shout out Owen Hart. We hardly knew ye. I'm not a nugget.
Dude, can I just say one thing about Owen Hart? I thought it was so awesome that Owen Hart was like the one white guy in the Nation. You remember at one point there was that version of the Nation that was like comma, Mark Henry, D'Lo Brown.
And I'm not a nugget, Owen. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, and I just love him walking with those guys. Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, that's so awesome. Well, and much like we were talking before off stream that Bret Hart loves black women. You know what I mean? And that to me,
admittedly so. Read his book. He loves him some mocha.
Yeah, and so I just think it means that I think it just means that they're fucking cool. They just have their they on the surface, Bret and Owen Hart might look like the two whitest guys to have ever lived. But and Stu Hart is certainly the whitest guy to have ever lived. But somehow Bret Hart and Owen Hart, they got a little swag, they got a little culture in them, So good for them. I think that's great. Dude,
I'll take it even further. Pat, when I was a kid, I thought Bret was racist because he never put the glasses on no black kids. but then I also started to notice that there really was never any black kids up in the front row either. Back in the day, when Bret was going to fucking go to the front row, chances are it was a bunch of little white faces, but
that's very true. That's very true. But hey,
you gotta.
It wasn't Bret Hart. He was a victim of circumstance too. If he had it his way, all his baby mamas would be sitting front row with their kids.
Yeah. You want to know how down Bret Hart was? If you ever get a chance to look at it's a meme that's you might be cool, but you're not. What is cooler than Virgil and Bret Hart's handshake? And they do this long, drawn out, up, down, all around, fucking
Yeah, that's what I'm
wiggle. Shit. It's so crazy, dude. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Hey, okay, so usually on the show we will review the week's worth of episodes of wrestling. However, this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, by the way, Larry, first ever time I'm working in a restaurant that is closed on Memorial Day.
Wow. What a boon.
Dude, look at me go. I don't even have plans. I'm not going to do anything. It's just another Monday to me.
Dude, just drink. Just drink yourself to sleep. When's the last time you just drank yourself to sleep? I'm talking about nap in the afternoon because you started at like 10.
Oh, so like 10 o'clock, wake up, backyard, barbecue, boombox,
Yep.
fall asleep.
Yep. Get your shit on, get your blunt on, get your beer on, get the barbecue. I'm
Smoke
in
like
bed.
Derek
3.
Jeter. Hell yeah, dude. Anyway, so this weekend is crazy because on Saturday, I guess afternoon, or I don't know what time it is, it's King of the Ring Saudi Arabia edition. And then on Sunday, it's Double or Nothing, AEW. So you got a whole bunch of
It's a lot. Dude, they're killing us. They're killing us. Like,
Listen,
how much can, you know?
I have never in my life loved wrestling enough to stay in on Saturday and Sunday night of Memorial Day weekend and watch back-to-back pay-per-views. And if you're
nuts,
doing
dude.
that, take a page out of Larry's book. Take Larry's advice. Go out at 10 a.m., touch grass, barbecue, beatbox.
Drink.
Fall asleep, dude.
Fall asleep right in the grass.
All right, so let's get into King. So instead of going through this week's matches and shows and stuff, I just want to preview King of the Ring. I want to preview AEW Double or Nothing. We'll go through the matches. We'll talk a little shit. We'll pontificate. We'll, theologize. And we'll fucking get the fuck out of here and get back to Helldivers 2. So
Sounds good.
Triple H tweeted earlier that the winners of the King and Queen of the Ring finals will each get a WWE title shot. So this is great for Cody because Cody's basically in like the mainstream era of his comic book saga. You know, he just completed his story and now he's more popular than ever. So it's just each comic book, like he's fighting the B villains now. You know what I'm saying? It's like Batman just beat the Joker after like a 24 comic book arc.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's doing one-offs. Like he's doing Shocker. Well, now I'm switching to Spider-Man. But he's doing Shocker. He's doing Rhino. He's doing all these things. So, Cody did AJ. Brief little thing. Nice and clean and crisp with AJ. Did another thing with Logan. Now he's doing a thing with Logan. And I guess the next thing will be I'm assuming Gunther or Randy. But I love this for Cody. Just to talk about this real quick. I think this is great for him. Don't give him another major arc. Just have him do these one-offs. And each one-off, because Cody, he's a thinker. He's an actor. He's a workshopper. He can discover a new thing, new little wrinkle to do with each one of them. Like with AJ, it was like, hey, too sweet me. F you, bro. Now this one, it's like, oh, U.S. title versus world, but you screw me out of it. And then the next one will be Gunther, King of the Ring. So that either with Gunther, they'll do, you almost beat me in Royal Rumble. You were number 2 in Royal Rumble. Or if it's Randy, it'll be, teacher versus student type shit. So I'm loving the Cody trajectory right now. Do you have a thought or anything about?
And it's also that he could deliver some promo where he's like, first, I defeated a phenomenal one. Next, I took on a multi-known international
influencer.
Like he'll like do like a promo where he's mentioning each one of these things that he overcame and like building to a crescendo.
Larry, that's so good. That's so good. Yeah, that's absolutely what he's gonna do.
I know his speeches and his style of like storytelling because he's a video game nerd. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's doing good.
I mean, he's the Antichrist of professional wrestling.
I think this is what he planned all along. From his first leave WWE, I think this whole come back and be on top is what he planned all along. Everything, AEW, everything has been part of the master plan.
He's an
And
evil, sick genius.
I think Triple H really respects it because Triple H had to do that. You gotta eat shit, kid, for going out there and posing and taking a bow. You gotta eat shit, kid. I think the fact that he left, kept his shit up, went over there, made huge money and like launched some shit. They came back. It's like you're like a model employee.
He's assistant regional manager, assistant to the regional manager.
Indeed, yes, the assistant to the regional director of operations, Cody.
So
Cody
let's talk about
Ruggles.
that match. I don't think that this match is going to be the main event of the Queen of the Ring, King of the Ring. I think the main event is going to be the two King and Queen matches. I think
No,
even this.
the Queens will be covered. Will the Queens be covered?
You know, I think as time has gone on, they've been a little bit less covered. I don't think they're going to be wearing their Western Hemisphere regalia, but I think that.
Well, I certainly hope not.
Yeah, I mean that might send the entire nation into a frenzy, you know. But let's talk about this match. I think this match could even open the show, Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul, because I think both these motherfuckers want to do this match, get on a plane, and get the fuck out of Dodge. Get out of here. They're going private jets in and out.
That's a very astute observation. However, from what I was listening to on the sheets, like they really love Logan. These people really love Logan, and they've demanded him.
They had Logan main event against Roman at some point in Saudi Arabia too.
And they were so impressed, they have demanded, much like they demanded Yokozuna and the Ultimate Warrior when WWE first, did the deal. They've demanded Logan.
Well, and the Prince himself demanded. You remember that debacle of a match? Bald Shawn, Triple H, Kane,
and Wig
Kane, and the Undertaker. Like one of the worst matches, probably the worst match of all four of those guys' careers. The Prince demanded it.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
The Prince demanded Goldberg at some point, too. So maybe the Prince is demanding Logan Paul.
That's what I'm saying. And the Prince has money.
So what do you think is going to happen in this match? Do you think it's going to be clean finish, DQ finish? You think it's going to be first or last? I mean, I think it's pretty much by the numbers at this point. Logan did the little swerve. Cody will have to overcome hordes of YouTubers. And at the end of the time, I think it takes one Crossroads to beat him. 1, 2, 3. Maybe Cody shakes his hand. Maybe there's a handshake after, or a false handshake. Maybe.
Yeah, good will prevail. Logan Paul is an evil guy. He's an evil doer. Good will prevail. Do. And I don't expect a handshake, but I do expect a huge stunt. I expect a very big, eye-captivating flash cameras going off as a leap or a drop or something happens. A big stunt is coming out of this match. I can foresee it.
Like a top rope to announce table.
Yeah, but like very pretty, very Jordan-esque,
I mean, listen, I hate to support the Logan Paul, but he looks great. Every single wrestler to a man/woman says that he's the man and that he took to it faster than anybody on the entire planet would. And, but that's what happens when you're rich and you got way too much time on your hands. You can get a personal chef and a personal trainer. You just become a wrestler,
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he is very Jordan-esque when he's in that air, Larry. Logan is.
I wouldn't be surprised if Cody gives him the Crossroads on the floor.
Okay. All right. So we're both in agreement. Cody wins, prevails, moves on to the next challenger.
Crossroads on the floor, dead weight, getting him back up into the ring. Another Crossroads pin.
Wow. Okay. Women's World Championship. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan, who would just set Lana's house on fire, but then saved Lana's house from being on fire and kept the blunt lit the whole time. My type of woman, New Jersey. Let's go.
I heard someone mention that this is going to be a nice evenly matched matchup for two women based on their bodies.
I mean, Liv is a civilian basically.
But Becky ain't too far.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Becky could be working at Walmart too.
Yeah. Or fucking Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't think twice. Just hair up, Chick-fil-A apron. Hey, what's up? Let me get some nuggets.
No,
hey, how are you? I would just think like,
I
wow,
don't
there's
think-
a beautiful woman working there. Okay, cool, great.
Yeah, you see them all the time.
Yeah, they're
all the
out
time
there.
at the Wendy's. Like, yo, there's a beautiful woman working at this Wendy's.
Okay, cool. It was Becky Lynch. Her
But no,
name says the man.
Becky's gonna beat her. That should be a good match, though, I think, because of their. I guess I bring their bodies up because I think they both will be able to manipulate each other and execute their moves, kind of like a lot more impactful looking, as opposed to like when clearly Nia is throwing Liv up to jump into the DDT. You know, like DDT her whole big frame for this little. You know what I mean? Like this will look more like a nice, evenly matched women's fight.
Urka says that the WWE is definitely, even under the new era, WWE is definitely not going to reward that body cam footage coming out or that Lana.
Absolutely not. No way.
So what?
That
So
too. I didn't want to get into that, but absolutely no way.
yeah, even though it's not Liv's fault, you know, it's like whatever. But you know what the thing is, Larry, and you drive a lot of miles. The cop mentioned to her, he goes like, "Hey, were you like texting or were you like falling asleep because you know, you swerved over into the area where the tires go ba 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 ba. You know, she swerved into the fall asleep area. So I mean, if that's true,
I know it very well.
yeah,
I know it very well.
yeah, dude. And thank
Yeah.
God for whoever invented that. Thank you. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. Well, I mean, I swerve. I know it very well for two reasons. Sometimes because when I go right home after like a Newark, and we're talking about I'm getting to Maryland at around like 2:45 a.m. Let's say I leave Newark right after XPW. I get to Maryland, not Baltimore, Maryland, at about 2:45 a.m. It's so dead on the turnpike. I'm like doing whatever. Like I don't care. Like I'm just engaging myself. There's nothing in front of me. There's nothing behind me. And sometimes I'll be like, I will not even see that I'm veering off. So it jolts me up to be like, get the fuck up. But now I'm like presidential. So a lot of the times the car itself will like be like, take a break. Take a break. Take a break.
I
Take a
will.
break.
Thank you. I was thinking the same thing myself.
Yeah. Time to take a break.
All right, so Becky wins. I just want to say that I so badly want Liv Morgan to steal Dominic Mysterio from Buddy Matthews' girlfriend, whatever her name is, and then take over the Judgment Day, and then Rhea comes back as the conquering hero, much like they're going to do with Roman, I feel like.
A lot of people have also been speculating that, and this brings up a really kind of like critical blow to wrestling. Do you think that wrestling overall right now is just like you can see what's going to happen like before it happens? Like, do you think that everybody can just like see it already like unfolding like before we get to the like?
No, because I think that in our demographic we can see it more. Whereas, like, somebody who's, like, maybe 20
Like the
years
kids-
younger than us can't really see
The
it like
kids
that.
who it's for.
But
Yeah,
but you
the
know
kids
what?
who it's
I'll
for.
tell you this, Larry. I like it because think about it this way: when like the poop Vince of the last 10 years, like the deranged Vince of the last 10 years, didn't have his finger on the pulse. He didn't know shit, right? But I feel like Triple H knows that we know that he knows that we know what's going to happen. And I think he is calculating and doing the math on how much he can do what we know is going to happen and not get us mad, and how much and when the time is to swerve us. You know what I'm saying? Like Vince completely lost the plot. Completely lost the plot.
Yeah.
But if you think about Attitude Era Vince, Prime Vince, they knew that we knew when we knew, but then they knew when to swerve us. You know what I'm saying?
I think Prime Attitude Vince was Russo. A lot of Russo.
Well,
like,
the
Vince
collab
was just
between them. The collab.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. You know. So, yeah. I guess one of the reasons I mentioned this is because like with this Bianca Jade showdown that is just like written all over the show that we're gonna get there. It just feels like the vignettes are already being cut up by Giancarlo, or whoever is the Giancarlo of WWE right now. Just them, like hugging and going, "No, you girl," and
yeah, there's gonna be a turn. There's
Yeah.
gonna be a turn. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think we're there yet. No, I think that. Why you think? Because they have a match as well. They are fighting. Oh, I guess it's not on this this show, but they just confirmed that like Shayna Baszler and somebody else. What the fuck? Zoe Stark maybe.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler and somebody are now the number one contenders for Bianca and Jade. I don't think they're fighting this weekend. But, like, do you think that they do it that quick? Like, their first defense, there's a miscommunication and a loss, and now they turn? Maybe one successful defense, and then...
Not that soon. But it's already... what I'm saying is I see it already happening at next year's Mania.
Okay.
And I think that I think it can go even longer with them supporting each other. I think it can go even longer.
Well, yeah, because they're doing great and they're having a great time. Let's give them a little breathing room to like discover their tag team. I mean, not to quote Jim Cornette, but he calls them the female Road Warriors, dude. So like, let's sink our teeth into that. And
That's
let's
what I
do that
want
for a little bit.
I think the fans have such an insatiable appetite for new battles and content that we are going to get it rushed.
Nah, I don't know, man, because I got to say, because of the bloodline from last year and this year, because of everything that's going on in Triple H, I don't know, that maybe this might be false hope, but I trust them more now than I have since maybe ever thinking about it like I do now. You know what I mean? Obviously, when I was a kid, I trusted them because I didn't know any better. But, like, since, like, kind of smartening up a little bit, I trust them now maybe more than ever, dude.
Yeah. Hey, I got to get a drink.
You want to take a little break? We'll finish
I just want to get a drink.
Well, I kind of got to pee, so I could play the music. We'll take a two.
Yeah.
Let's take a two. We'll finish up King of the Ring. We'll do Double or Nothing, and we'll call it a night.
I like it.
Thank you so much for being my fill-in guest co-host.
Yeah.
If
I wasn't here, I'd be in the chat, just like before on Versus the World. If I wasn't here, y'all know I'd be in the chat.
Really,
we're just watching.
My only concern is that we're like just going so we're almost too deep. We're too philosophical and articulate. We're behind schedule. But you know what? Let's take a 5.
Yeah.
And we'll give everybody the attention it deserves.
I might have to get back into gaming. I might have to get a Switch. There's about to be a new Switch to come out, just so that I can like talk.
Yeah, well,
for other times that I fill in, or if we turn this into a 3-way dance or whatever.
Well, you go get your drink. I'm gonna go pee.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna play a little music, and we'll be back to finish up King of the Ring, and we'll do a little Double or Nothing, and then we'll call it an evening. And after that, I'm gonna go right back to hell diving because it's the only thing that I want to do. And the only reason why this show is even happening is because fucking Larry said, hey, I'll fill in if you want. I said, Larry, you know what? It's the only thing that I've heard today that's more exciting than me taking the night off. So listen to the music. Have a nice time. Blah, 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 blah. Boulevard Bullies. Studio mode.
Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Hello, everyone. We're back. I've lost my sunglasses, but we're fine. It's fine. Oh, there they are. They're over there. I left them over there on the corner. So
It's okay.
I just want to say that KZ Brown, $4.99.
Casey's turning in.
Super chat. This has been a fantastic episode. It's fantastic. Or no, it's great to see two professionals. Dude, that means not only you, but me, dude. He's calling me a professional.
Oh, yeah.
Two professionals having an engaging conversation.
Wow.
What, dude, what?
And a super chat.
And also,
Shout out my brother, Casey Brown. Shout out Katie,
thanks,
my
yo.
sis.
That's very, very sweet of you to say. You know, listen.
He didn't even know I was going to be in here.
I don't, listen, I don't have like that deep of a plan, and I definitely don't have enough energy to be like some kind of manager of a fucking Applebee's, and deal with all the personalities. I just, whatever's in my cone of vision, I want to do. So I appreciate you. And you know what, Larry? Listen, sometimes I'll turn my head and I'll move my cone like a dog.
That's right.
Sometimes I'll just be looking straight ahead, somebody walk out of my cone.
Mm-hmm.
And one person that I could say, Larry, since I got over the guardrail just an inch, that has never left my cone, is my man, my boy, my dad. So I really appreciate that. Hey, by the way, another one who's always been in the cone and should probably be in a fucking cone himself, Captain Dave is weighing
Hell yeah.
in.
Shout out Captain Dave.
And I got to read this to you, Larry. Captain Dave has said, "Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to the Captain's Corner podcast, exclusively on my YouTube channel. I'm Captain Dave, and we have a special episode of Here Comes the Lame, the Boulevard Bullies' own. Yo, Boulevard Bullies, how are you doing on a fine Friday night? Wish I could come join you guys. With me at work, it's hard to be on. And Boulevard Bullies versus the World will always be number one in my book, and Urka agrees. And you know what? Turns out Casey agrees, and then guess what? After that Casey thing, Captain Dave agreed with Casey too. So we got all the heavy hitters.
That's right. Urka, Captain Dave, Casey Brown.
Let's talk about King of the Ring finals real quick, because we're crunched for time. We almost pontificated a little too much, Larry.
We've been known to do that.
Yeah, I mean, we should probably have a fucking 4-hour show. But King of the Ring finals, Gunther versus either Randy Orton or Tama Tonga, who filled in for like an injured someone.
I think it's going to be Gunther and Orton, and for some reason, I think they are going to give it to Orton.
Huh.
So we can have the lineage of the family Orton versus the lineage of the family Rhodes.
I'm going to say this, Larry. I love that. And out of these three guys, Tama, Randy, and Gunther, the thing I want to see the most is Randy and Cody's main event video package.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I really want to see that. So out of the three, Randy's video package with Cody right now is the best. Tama Tonga, it's
that would have been pretty
yeah, but it's too, because they announced that the winner gets a title shot, they can't go right back to Tama. They can't go right back to the bloodline. And I think, and I don't think that Randy can lose. I don't know. So I don't think Tama Tonga is going to win it, even though there is kind of a little bit of appeal like, oh, let's put it on this new guy. Let's get the bloodline right back involved. But to me, it would be way too early to do that. And to me, it's almost a little too early to cash in that Randy Cody storyline. Maybe Randy fights off with the bloodline and Gunther is Cody's next challenger.
I mean, Gunther is a viable option as well.
Because
Gunther
you know why?
is a deliverer.
Because think about it, we're doing the one-offs. Think about it, we're doing Shocker, we're doing Rhino, we're doing these. So Randy and Tama, those are massive video packages. That's like a whole season. That's like a 6 episode. Either one of those guys. But Gunther can be like a 1 month type of thing. So that's why I think it's Gunther.
Yeah. I think they could go either way. I think they could go either way.
Any of these guys coming out wearing a crown is like lame. Like they shouldn't have a crown.
Well, I think that if Gunther carried the ring that out. Carrying the crown like the ring that out.
Or the other guy carries it.
Yeah, carries the crown. And maybe he wears the cape.
Yeah, his cape just gets a little upgrade.
Doesn't Gunther already wear a cape at all?
Yeah, he like whips it. He wears like a jacket and he like whips it off. Yeah. He wears like a Kenneth Branagh jacket and whips it off. So yeah, the jacket just gets upgraded. Maybe it gets a little like white frill.
Oh my gosh, Pat. Cody's jacket versus Gunther's jacket in the championship
Battle
match.
of the Jackets.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. This is like the drag race elements of it are like not just the moves that they do in the lip sync battle. That's the match. But it's like their walk to the ring with their music and the fucking regalia, like you said earlier. That's a battle in itself as well.
Okay, so I guess we both agree on Gunther, but we wouldn't mind Randy. I wouldn't mind all three of these guys, but I think Randy and Tama fight off, and it's Gunther.
Yeah. It's funny because you say video package, Randy has the best. I'm talking about walk to the ring, it's the best with Gunther.
No, but you see, but that's good because the walk to the ring is that little wrinkle they need to make the one-off interesting.
Yeah.
Like the video package is like the 6-month build. Or like the 6-week build or whatever. But all they need to do is make Gunther king of the ring, upgrade his jacket a little bit, and then they're off. Then they're off to the race. And they get a little video package about the Royal Rumble. And Gunther loses, but he's fine because he's proven himself. He takes the loss easily. And Cody moves on. Boom. Love it. And Cody gets to live out his fantasy of killing Nazis, too, which I'm sure he's always wanted to do. USA. USA.
Probably played a lot of Doom. Remember Doom?
Oh, Doom is.
Or no, what was that other one?
Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Just gratuitously kill Nazis. Queen of the Ring finals. They're really pushing this woman, Lyra Valkyria. I don't know if you've seen her. She's like, she's kind of like the underdog of the tournament.
Yeah. I heard her talked about, but I don't know if I saw her. To be just honest with the fans, I don't know if I've seen this. Is she like? What does she look like?
She's like a smaller kind of like
Layla Hirsch.
No, not Layla Hirsch. I would actually almost say like Liv Morgan, but like a little bit more like white bread. She's got brown hair. She's more of like athlete Liv Morgan. She's like what the fuck's her name? Christy Clark. She's just like a no nonsense white bread like underdog. And I think
not our girl. That's not our girl that used to be the stick girl for ROH, is it?
I don't think so. No, not
Quinn?
That lady. I love that lady very, very much, but no.
Yeah, well, she got signed.
I think I don't know what she does. I think she's done some NXT interviews. But anyway, it's Lyra Valkyria versus either Nia Jax or Bianca Belair. So I think whoever wins, it's basically one of these things. It's like real sports. The winner of Nia Jax Bianca, I think, is obviously going to beat this lady. But obviously this lady will push them to the limit. And then, they'll have to, 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 they'll have to,
and make a name for themselves.
Make a name for themselves as the underdog of the tournament. But I think, and maybe Bianca overcomes Nia, and then Bianca, that's where the handshake comes in. It's like the Rock and Roman. Bianca puts over Tyra and the win in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Because, Jade needs to be avenged for the chicanery with her loss to Nia just because she used a chair. She got a little too excited.
So classic. She got a little too excited. Right, because in the round prior, Nia fought Jade, which on paper is like, that's awesome. And I guess Nia was going to use her chair, but then Jade, lost her cool. She blew her stack, Larry.
Yep.
And
she grabbed the chair and she used it.
Yeah, and she used it. Instant DQ. You got to keep.
It's because her daughter was in the front row, and Nia had just gone up to her daughter and screamed in her face, "I'm not like
that." My hole. It's so dumb. Why didn't they just do Nia and Bianca in the finals? They could have put over Tyra Valkyria just the same way. Who cares if this girl loses in the finals or the semis? Now this little lady is in the finals in Saudi Arabia. I don't know. That's a bridge too far for me. She should have she should have put up a fight against Nia, lost to Nia, Bianca versus Nia. Or, Larry, to your point, you could have blown up the tag team right there. You could have had Jade and Bianca on opposite ends and had them fight.
Now that is a way that you kind of satiate people with, we want to see these broads go at it.
The timing's not right,
for the breakup yet, not the breakup.
Well, because it's too soon from WrestleMania. It's too soon. Because they need to be the Road Warriors first, dude. They need to at least be the Steiner brothers.
Yes. They need to go on a tour in Japan. They're going to Japan. WWE's going to Japan.
Yo, you know what? Actually, I take back what I said. I think Nia should win because I don't want Bianca in anything else other than this tag team with Jade. I think Nia should win.
Oh, right.
And then you have David Easta versus Goliath. You have Tyra Valkyria, this little lady versus Nia. That's my new opinion. I just
and then one of them fights Becky.
Right. Because Liv is not going to win because she smokes weed.
Yep, she's a backwoods smoking, house burning down.
She's a Seaside Heights walking, backwoods smoking. Fucking white pony ass going to.
She's a boulevard bully.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that Lana should be the bully just because of the extreme alcoholism, but I'll take them both.
Yeah, we smoke a lot of weed, we drink a lot of booze.
Seriously, how much money do you think it would cost if I sent Lana an email and be like, listen, I'm on a podcast that I need guest hosts. I need fill-ins while the flagship host is on sabbatical. You could drink as much wine as you want. You could smoke as much booze. How much money would it cost? $5,000 to have Lana do what you're...
The most she can do is a cameo.
Hey, can I...
That's the most she would be able to do as a contracted WWE girl.
No, Lana, not Liv. Lana.
Oh, Lana!
CJ Perry. As a co-host.
Shoot your shot.
Maybe we should. Maybe we'll slide to the team.
Shoot your shot. I'll go through Miro. I think he probably would like the cut of my jib. Oh, they're not together anymore. Sorry. What am I talking about?
Maybe if you learn a TikTok dance, she will respect you, says Urka. Well, I'll tell you right now, that's not gonna happen.
I'll dance on TikTok for her.
Yo, and that's another thing, Larry. I gotta tell you, I'm gonna need somebody to hang out with at this wedding because I'm not gonna dance at Brian's wedding. I'm not a dancer. I'm a drinker.
Well, I'm hoping someone. I gotta talk to Brian because I'm hoping somebody backs out or says they can't come because I want to bring the lovely Christina Diamond as my
What, you get a +1 and I don't?
I don't get one unless someone drops out, bro. They're at capacity. So Brian was like, yeah, I'm at 10%, by the way. But
all right, let's run through Double or Nothing real quick. By the way,
okay.
Daniel Kurth sends $10 and says, "Love Boulevard, keep it up. Here's something for the Necro
That's what's
Butcher."
up, bro. We are fucking earning tonight, bro. What about that ching ching ching? What about that bling bling bling? Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
All right, double or nothing. Double or nothing.
Double or nothing. Last night, I don't know if you saw this, Darby Allin came out with a flamethrower, and I hate to put over our Tuesday co-host Brian, but probably 2 years ago, Brian had the Elon Musk flamethrower and was like, "Let's go do promo shots of me on this flamethrower," and Darby Allin must have seen that video.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And he was
I
fighting them
saw
back.
that.
So I guess the Elite came out and were like fucking up Bryan Danielson, and Darby Allin came out with a flamethrower to fend them back. And even
Did
though
he shoot flames?
he shot flames into the air to let them know he would light them on fire. But
if
then
they got too close.
Yeah, but they did get too close, and then Brian and like they had a choice. Darby Allin could either completely emulate Matt Jackson, or Daniel Bryan could hip toss him through a table on top of a crash pad. They chose the table.
Ah,
You know.
I wish you would have lit his ass on
Yeah,
fire.
that would have been awesome. But hey, you know.
Ain't no way WWE's competing with this shit.
Yeah. We're like the Pepsi. Hey, so in this fucking pay-per-view, and this is the only match that I want to see, and more than seeing this match, I just want to hear what JCE has to say about it, to be honest with you. And even at this point, Brian Alvarez, who's kind of like swaying over.
Yes,
Brian
he
Alvarez
is.
kind of fighting Meltzer now. And
I love it.
everybody is kind of like, the Kool-Aid is kind of worn off, which I'm worried about, Larry. I think if everybody starts hating AEW, I might start loving them.
That's how this thing works.
I might start defending and loving them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
But what
Anarchy in the Arena,
Oh.
which is a storied match, and it's the Elite, Okada, Jack Perry, Matt and Nick Jackson versus they're like the evil, they're like the corporation, Larry.
Yeah.
And then now
Vince
it's
Shane.
Team
You know.
AEW, which is Bryan Danielson, FTR, and Darby Allin, who is replacing Eddie Kingston, who broke his leg in like 4 places and is going to be out for like 9 months. So they're doing Anarchy in the Arena, which is historically a ridiculous shit show of a match.
Yeah, Matt Hardy almost died.
He got drowned. Remember? What was the guy from JTG who like drowned?
Shad?
Yeah, so that guy drowned, and then a week later they did like a drowning gimmick with Matt Hardy in the Anarchy in the Arena match. Yikes.
Yeah, you know, Jim Cornette would say, lazy booking. One thing that I don't like about these matches is that there was one time that this type of match was done well, and that was at WrestleMania 17, Big Show versus Hardcore Holly versus Raven. And that's where, I mean, like, a lot of stuff's going on, but there's enough, it's contained in enough of an area that you're not like, oh, and these guys are over there, let's cut to them. Oh, these guys are over there, let's cut to them. And we're all back into the thing to hit our big things. And then the end, you know, like, so it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. But I don't expect anything like monumental to happen besides for it to be like the match that we all know it's all going to be.
Right, that it's going to be. And can you imagine you sign Okada to like a multi-bajillion year thing, and the first like major match he's going to have is like a all over the arena, like walk and punch bullshit, New Jack style. Oh my God, dude. Not great. Not great.
I wonder if they'll play Bryan Danielson's music the entire fight.
They're gonna play. Well, that's what they did last time. Is that Jericho wanted the song played the entire time, and then they wrote in a thing where he like slammed a guy's head into like the soundboard to stop the music or something. But anyway, at least the other big signing, Mercedes Moné, at least she has a one-on-one. At least she has a one-on-one. At least she's not in like a bullshit scramble type thing. She's just fighting Willow Nightingale. And it seems like the fans have turned on Sasha because much like they didn't want The Rock and they
Well,
wanted...
she hasn't done anything.
Well, no, but the thing is, I think it's almost like The Rock and Cody, where Sasha came in and there was like a clear path for her to like win. And the fans were like, no, we actually like Willow more. And like completely changed the direction of everything. Much like The Rock and Cody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess, yeah. I thought it was because the fans were like, you haven't really done shit yet. You just keep coming out and doing your like, or like, like, what the fuck, dude? That's not wrestling.
Well, I'll tell you this. When Willow power bombed her through the contract signing table, Mercedes sold it mad good. She was like, no. Boom. It was like kind of dope. Like I think she knows. I think everybody knows now. Willow's the face. Sasha's the heel. And hopefully, listen, I think Sasha's going to win. Or Mercedes, I'm sorry, is going to win. But I hope that they at least drive home. Like, if she wins, she should win as, like, undeniably getting booed out of the building. Everybody should be fucking miserable about it. But if that's not going to happen, and you're going to keep it, like, ambiguous, then just keep Willow. That's kind of where I'm at with it. What do you think? You know Willow,
Agreed.
Our girl.
Yeah, I announced her first match, her first professional match. Oh, the moon is fucking fantastic right now. I just want to let everybody know if you can see it. It's rising and it's beautiful.
Pac reunited Death Triangle, and he's fighting the Bullet Club Gold for the Trios Championship. Pac, Penta, Ray versus Jay White and the Gun Boys. Do you care? Do you give a shit?
I mean, much like the Anarchy Rules match, we know what that match is going to be. We know what that match is going to be.
I can't even believe that this is a match that's happening. I mean, maybe this is a typo. It's Chris Jericho versus Hook versus Shibata in a triple threat match for Taz's FTW Championship title.
Oh. Really?
No, really.
I thought it was like there was an eliminator match. Did that happen already?
I think it already happened, and I think that, like, I don't know, it was like a draw or like Big Bill interfered or some shit. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I thought it was Hook versus Shibata versus Brian Keith. Winner gets the match against. Yeah, so clearly we don't watch. We don't watch it as much.
No, once again, we're hypothesizing, we're philosophizing. Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. Trent Beretta, another NYWC alum, has turned on Orange Cassidy.
Trenty Locks.
Yeah, Trenty Locks is going to fight Orange. Do you give a shit about that?
It's a pure wrestling match.
Orange was another guy that I fucking loved on the indies, dude, and AEW has made me absolutely sick of him.
He was awesome, dude.
IWGP. Still is, but, once again, it's like I love Zach Galifianakis, but also he was in The Hangover. You know what I mean? So Orange Cassidy is basically just the Zach Galifianakis I love currently in the movie The Hangover.
Right.
John Moxley versus Takeshita. IWGP Heavyweight Championship Eliminator match. Not a championship.
So that's an eliminator.
Yeah, so that's an eliminator. Don't really care about that, but I guess John Moxley just wants to be doing the thing that he's doing, and that's what he's doing.
Let him eat cake.
Did you see last night that Edge dropped blood on Malachi Black?
Can I ask you, do you think that this is a clear indication that we're getting Gangrel involved in this match in some way, shape, or form?
I think that Edge had a very specific vision for what he wanted the Judgment Day to be. And I think Edge had a little taste of acting and television. So he's like, oh, I have a whole season 1 and season 2 and season 3 of my Judgment Day character plan. And Vince was like, yeah, let's just make you float. Yeah. And he's like, nah. And they're like, all right, you're fired or whatever, whatever happened. So I think now he did his little Edge babyface return, and I think he's on this path of the TV show that he always wanted to write for himself. And he's dropping the blood. Eddie's fulfilling all his dark fantasies. I forget what your question was.
Do you think Gangrel? Do you think he's gonna summon? Because Gangrel was just on some shit I saw.
Well,
Gangrel works.
And it just came out that that Edge pitched Gangrel entrance for the WrestleMania Brood thing, and they shot it down.
So now he's got Christian in AEW. He's in AEW. Gangrel.
Yo, how
That'd
about
be
this?
awesome in 2024.
Gangrel comes out, helps Edge win.
Yeah.
Maybe like Buddy Matthews. Maybe somebody like Buddy Matthews swerves Malachi and joins Edge. And then.
Or maybe Edge reveals that he's actually the leader.
The leader, right. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah, he's
the leader. Right. But then maybe, dude. Who else has a kind of goth character? Who else does he assimilate?
I don't know.
I just
Paul
had,
White.
just put some eyeliner on him. That'd be awesome. So yeah, it's Adam Cope. Which like if Edge is the coolest thing you could be, Cope is the least cool thing you could be.
Yeah, Cope.
He just took all his fucking graphics and just changed the letters.
Oh god.
So they're fighting in a barbed wire steel cage match.
That is gonna be insane. A barbed wire, is that like Cage of Death?
I have no idea what it's gonna look like or what it's gonna be. I'm sure it's gonna be underwhelming. But
all right, drive us home because my phone. Drive us. What else do we got?
Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. Let me ask you the same thing that I don't care about this match, but let me ask you the same thing that Meltzer and Brian Alvarez were arguing about. Is Toni Storm a good guy or a bad guy?
Toni Storm is a bad guy. She's an evildoer.
AEW International Championship, Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay. Does Will Ospreay win, or does he face more adversity and go on like a fucking finish the story type run?
Nope, Will's winning the belt.
He's winning one of their many mid-tier belts.
They have 18 titles.
And you're going to have Swerve versus Christian. Oh, that's what happens, Larry. That's what happens. Edge has the match with Malachi Black, right? He comes out with Gangrel. At the end, Buddy Matthews turns on Malachi and joins the new Brood. And you think, well, there you go. The trio's complete. But no. They need one more guy, dude. And they come out and interfere, and they bloodbath fucking Swerve. And Edge becomes the top guy with Gangrel and Christian and Buddy Matthews with his head on Rhea Ripley's butt.
And does Christian beat Swerve for the belt?
Ooh, I don't think so. I think we run with Swerve. I think Swerve wins, and this all happens afterwards.
Okay. I like that.
That's fun, right? We gotta get No, but and you see, that's what we do with Buddy Matthews. Because he's obviously got the Rhea Ripley butt momentum going for him.
So it's kind of like they're connected.
But he's really like the third guy in like a shitty group.
Mm-hmm.
So like, this guy's laying on Rhea Ripley's butt. Edge knows that Buddy Matthews' head on Rhea Ripley's butt is worth more money than it on Malachi Black's butt. Am I crazy?
Yeah.
Am I talking sense?
You're talking sense. It's a little out there, but I'm with it. I dig it.
Did you see this bloodbath, though? Like, it looked like they
great.
had a fire hose shooting down. It looked like an air strike. It looked like it hurt, dude.
How much do you think that something like that cost a production to do?
To just get a whole... It looked like a little bit coagulated, too. It looked a little chunky. I don't know, but
That costs a lot of money, dude.
It probably doesn't cost less than $8,000. I mean, you're a Price is Right Showcase Showdown winner. Tell
That's
me.
what I'm saying. I'm like, that's gotta cost a lot of money.
Yo, and it's like, it's not even like they like opened a bucket. It's like they shot it down with a hose, it looked like. They had some like fucking like steam powered trajectory behind it. And
It was
know,
great.
I could have written that myself. And then of course Edge comes on the screen. Be careful what you wish for. On this day.
Yeah, Edge is in full Emmy nominated mode.
He's so stupid, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to both shows, but more Double or Nothing because it feels like AEW always seems to deliver really awesome pay-per-views, and I kind of want them to be watching the WWE pay-per-view and be motivated by it to do even better.
That's Larry, that was my final note that I wrote for today. I think we're coming off of the France thing where the hard cam was shaking. And I think if you had to look at this weekend and think about which fan base was going to be inspired to try to outdo that more, I think you got to go Double or Nothing above the Saudi Arabia crowd. I think the Saudi Arabia crowd is just going to be a popcorn, good crowd, loud crowd.
I mean, a large crowd.
But well, yeah, because they're under penalty of imprisonment to go.
Yeah, they gotta go.
Yeah, they have to. But yeah, I think that I'm kind of got my money, no pun intended, on Double or Nothing this weekend. I hope that they come through because just like when somebody goes from being underground to popular, I have to stop liking them. Just like when somebody goes from being the hot new flavor to the most absconded and like criticized thing, I have to start rooting for them, and I think I'm starting to root for AEW.
I mean, this is the way that this thing happens, and this is why, like, Alvarez and Meltzer, they've both been kind of saying it's not dead. Everyone's like saying AEW's dead. It's not dead. These are the growing pains. They're 5 years in. And they ain't going nowhere. That motherfucker Tony will not go down without. You'll have to kill him.
You'll have to literally kill him, or his dad would have to say
before
stop.
He lets that toy of his get discontinued or no downloadable content. Fuck that.
That's what CM Punk said when he was on that Ariel Helwani interview. He said I think that AEW will continue to go for as long as Tony Khan wants it to go.
Yep.
Yep.
So.
And it's his life's work.
Yeah, but what a time to be alive, Pat. What a time for us wrestling fans that used to have to wait every Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You kind of get a stretch, Superstars, All-American Wrestling, Raw, and an occasional pay-per-view every 4 months, Now we just got it out the wazoo. We did 2 podcasts on wrestling this week.
Just 2 podcasts. And it's kind of, you say, what a time to be alive. I don't know if you watch Rick and Morty, but there's a Rick and Morty episode where one of the characters is like underwater and dying, and their entire life is flashing before their eyes. And their lifespan is perfectly placed where it's like PlayStation 1, something happens. PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and it's like, yeah, dude, we have lived through PlayStations 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We've lived through Superstars, Attitude, Ruthless Aggression, AEW eras.
Yep.
We've witnessed the rise of GC Dub. We've witnessed the rise and fall of CZ Dub in the wake of EC Dub. And, of course, now we know about XP Dub, and now we're on the dawn of a brand new era with XB Dub.
Yeah. Right?
What a time to be alive, dude. What a time.
Yeah. We lived through Brie combination. H2O is thriving. VXS came about,
Through XDS.
Yeah.
Wow, what a time. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. On behalf of my Hall of Fame co-host, my wrestling father, what a fucking pleasure it's been, Larry.
Thank you, Pat, for having me to fill in for Jedi Joe.
You
anytime you meet
upheld the
brothers,
values of the
call.
flagship show, and you upheld the values of Boulevard Bullies, which I cannot say for many members of said group lately. But that's a story for another day. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. I'm PK with the Boulevard Bullies. Out of time. Bye-bye. And Larry's phone died right as I said that. All right, bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Check me out on Twitch in 15 minutes playing Helldivers with any motherfucker who loves democracy. Love you guys.